Instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, you've had your instructions in the back. Let's have a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Touch them up, come out at the bell.
So we're set to go for our opening contest. Excited to get a look at Joseph Hicks, a man who, as we mentioned, was named to the 2020 U.S. Olympic team, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, did not get an opportunity to compete in Tokyo. And this man, Antonio Todd, the notorious spoiler, looking to upset the apple cart. He's done it before against a Salida Promotions fighter, looking to spoil the party here tonight. Round one underway. This one's scheduled for 8 rounds in the middleweight division.
And I'll be interested to see what Antonio Todd is bringing to the ring tonight. I saw him in New York back in December, and he wasn't all that impressive in the loss to Anthony Sims, but he said he was still recovering from knee surgery that he had months earlier. That really kept his mobility pretty limited. He said in this fight, the knee is 100%, he's going to be a lot better.
Antonio Todd tore his meniscus in the midst of a fight against Connor Coyle. A pretty good performance for him, coming off the backs of an upset win over Hugo Centeno. Perhaps had something to do with how he looked that night.
Todd came out southpaw, has now switched back to orthodox, trying to give Hicks some different looks.
I was a little wary, Chris, about guys that do that.
I am too. I don't think 99.9% of fighters can't fight equally good on both sides, unless you're Terrence Crawford. So I don't like most fighters do that, especially guys with as little amateur experience as Todd has.
Yeah, wide gap in terms of the amateur experience here tonight. Joseph Hicks, 4-time national amateur champion and national Gold Gloves winner. Antonio Todd was a collegiate football player who left college football to take up boxing, really became enamored with the sport and jumped right in.
And I think you can see that. He's a good athlete, but he's not so much a boxer. Some of his movements are a little awkward. We saw some of those defensive postures he used just before. You know, and that's a common theme in his fights.
And Todd said his inspiration for boxing was Floyd Mayweather. He said he grew up liking to fight, and he noticed that Floyd was getting paid a lot of money to fight, so figured he'd take his shot.
Well, certainly one of the more amusing fighter interviews that we've had in recent years. Antonio Todd, quite the character and very candid.
Hicks. Hicks is very sharp here in round one.
Todd on the front foot, a little more than what we've seen out of him in recent bouts. And he did tell us that he did want to apply pressure on Hicks, but Hicks doing some good work here on the inside. A nice left hook to the midsection of Antonio Todd. Good shot there from Todd on the inside as well, a chopping right hand.
From what I'm seeing, I think that idea of Todd is probably his best bet, is to apply pressure, because fighting at this range and this pace is really going to benefit Hicks.
Inside the final 10 seconds here of round one. Big overhand right by Hicks. That might have stunned Todd, who's now along the ropes.
Hicks smart going down to the body.
Good start for Joseph Hicks.
Best shots, because now he afraid of those shots, and now you can get off almost what you want to get off, because he's worried about the big shots.
That's easy. When he goes southpaw, you're landing that right hand, double up on it. 1, 2, 2, right there, okay? When he goes right-handed, he's rolling the shoulder, and the drag is there right up the middle. Force him to roll, throw the drag right up the middle.
You got it. He'll be there for it all day. Need more water. All right. All right. Let's go. Let's go.
Keep him on there in your punches. Keep on your jabs.
Round two underway. See if Joseph Hicks can build upon what was Excellent first round. Hicks, as you could probably hear, has brought quite a few fans from both Grand Rapids and Lansing.
Very good instruction from the corner of Hicks. Gave him exactly what he should be doing when Todd is lefty or righty. I like that. Give your man one thing to do here, one thing to do there. If you give a fighter too many options, a lot of times it gets lost.
Family affair in the camp of Joseph Hicks. His uncle, Wayne Easley, leading his corner here tonight. His wife, Zoe, is also a high-level amateur who's won the Michigan Golden Gloves a number of times. And the two of them actually spar together in camp as well, depending on what one another needs for their upcoming fights.
Good up down there from Hicks. Good stab jab down to the body, then fakes low, looks low, throws high. Classy stuff so far. That's one thing I always say about these high-level amateur guys. You see the eyes. They're able to see the openings. They got their eyes wide open. They fight at a distance. That's why I said at this pace and at this distance, Todd is at a massive disadvantage.
Todd's going to find a way to make Hicks uncomfortable in the range right now. It's just easy work, Joseph Hicks.
Yeah, he's having his way at this distance.
Quick left hook on the inside there from Hicks.
And I like the mindset that Todd came into this fight with. He said every opponent that Joseph Hicks has faced has come in expected to lose. He's expected to win, but right now, the strategy is not working.
Yeah, to your point, Chris Altieri, not only is Hicks right now just thinking a little bit faster than Todd, but the hand speed differential seems to be rather glaring.
And then also that 7-inch reach advantage is really showing itself to be true. I didn't think that it was really that wide of a difference, but I'm seeing it now.
Good combination there from Hicks, finishing up to the body once again.
Nice job. Hicks right there to smother Todd as he came in.
But one of the habits that we saw from Todd throughout his career is leaning back, trying to get out of the way of those shots. And thus far, when he's attempted that overhand right is still getting there.
Yeah, doing that with someone whose arms are as long as Hicks and as sharp as he is tonight, that's a bad idea.
He's thinking. Let's go. He's thinking. You're doing what? Let's go.
Corner of Todd yelling, he's thinking, and you're doing nothing. They're absolutely right. You can't let a guy like this who has that much experience think in the middle of the ring.
Anticipated British title clash between Dalton Smith and Sam Maxwell is on July 1st, live here on DAZN.
Make sure when you make the feint, you close enough and you in check to make your move. Because he's going to make a scary move every time you feint. Every time you feint, he's going to make a move that's trying to, he want to stay away from you. He don't want to fight. He honestly don't want to be here no more. He's just being forced to stay. So you gotta set it up, because he ain't gonna have it. Yeah.
He's leaning back on you. He's looking for one big counter. Okay?
Yep, that's all he's looking for. Keep your hotel there, you good.
Double it up.
A lot of confidence in the corner. Sorry, a lot of confidence in corner Hicks after that last round.
Yeah, I mean, that is a corner that sounds like they're on the way to a stoppage already. They feel that they've mentally broken Antonio Todd already.
Well, I think if you're Joseph Hicks, a stoppage would be a pretty nice feather in your cap. Todd has gone the distance with some good fighters. Joseph Hicks over an 8-round fight can come up with a stoppage. It's pretty impressive.
He's putting his hands together here, and Chris Mannix, I'm sure you're putting your scorecard together. How do you have this one so far?
Pretty easy fight to score at this point. 2 rounds to none in favor of Joseph Hicks. He's first with a lot of these punches. They're the cleaner punches, they're the harder punches. He's just been in complete control of the first 2 rounds.
Hicks is doing a great job right now, varying up his attack. He's looking low, punching high, looking high, punching low, really mixing things up, and Todd just does not have an answer for it.
Todd trying to break through with the right hand there.
And to your point, Corey, last round you mentioned how Todd has a tendency to pull back. the corner of Hicks mentioned that and said to use your feint and punch where his head's going to be, rather using anticipation rather than trying to find it. Good instruction again from Hicks camp.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing here is that the strengths that Todd typically can utilize to kind of stymie opponents, his athleticism and his length. Well, he's not longer than his opponent here tonight, and the athleticism hasn't been quite enough.
Yeah, and Hicks is stronger, sharper, cleaner. He just has a better idea of what he wants to do.
And you do wonder when a fighter has major knee surgery a little over a year ago, just how well you're going to recover. That kind of procedure can take a lot out of you, especially your athleticism.
I had the exact same surgery and the same injury that he had. We mentioned that in the fighter meetings. And it took me at least a year out of the ring to feel comfortable moving around.
Todd had to battle through a lot in that Connor Coyle fight when the injury happened, a broken hand and a torn meniscus at the same time, and he has a lot to deal with right now. That chopping right hand from Joseph Hicks might have him in a little bit of trouble.
And that was a clean fight. Antonio Todd was behind his head. That was a clean shot.
Good answer from Todd.
Good response from Todd along the ropes.
You can see Todd digging into his experience here. He's been in a lot tougher fights, a lot better competition than Hicks has. He stays calm even when he's under fire like that.
I think he repeated to us during the fighter meetings again and again is, I love to scrap. And Joseph Hicks certainly bringing the offense here tonight in a way, Chris, that we didn't really see from him in his first couple of fights as a pro.
No, I have not seen him look this complete before, and he's doing it against the most experienced and probably the best opponent of his career so far.
Final moments of round 3 here as the action's starting to really pick up in both directions.
Anything about it? Yeah, I know, and then the ref ain't in there. All right. All right. Eat some water first. Get him out, bro. Get some water. Yeah. All right. I got you. You can't wait, bro. You can't wait. You can't wait till you throw the combinations in this. You know what I mean? I know. But if you wait and then he have a little flurry, we up against that kind of thing. You know what I mean? But I don't want you to be reckless, of course. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be more accurate. Okay.
Don't want shots. No one shot. Follow up and build it, and that's it, man.
Yeah. And make sure you know where you are every time. Don't you let him go. You understand?
All right. When you see him overreact, give him what he thinks is coming and go over it.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Come on, Joe. Get that belt, Joe. Come on. Be smart. Let's go.
What a stark difference in the corners between Hicks and Todd in terms of their instruction. Very concise, specific things for Hicks to do when he goes out there every round. And with Todd, more cheerleading than actual technique.
I thought the message was pretty good, though, Chris. Like, he's got to be first in these situations. You can't just hang out there and wait for Joseph Hicks to tee off on all that combination. If you're just standing in front of this guy, you're going to be in a world of trouble. I think they just wanted to throw punches.
But he has no answer, so give him a way in. Give him a weapon. Say, all right, let's do that move we worked on. You throw that double jab, then the right hand down low. Give me something specific instead of just saying, hey, you got to get inside. Yeah, we know that. He knows that. He's just having trouble doing it.
He worked his way to the inside the last 15 seconds ago, or so, excuse me, and he's been ripped to the body. There's an uppercut that broke through from Hicks as well. Todd getting his instructions from Lionel Harris, who has been his coach from the amateur days all through his professional career. A very brief amateur career, but has learned on the job, sparring the likes of Tony Harrison and Sebastian Fundora. That's certainly not a fun sparring assignment. I know the accommodations at the Fundora compound are nice, but sparring Fundora every 2 days, not a fun task.
There it is again, up and down. I love how he changes the angles and the height of his shots.
Todd's just very flat.
Obvious push there.
Todd's very flat-footed out there, which is why he's leaning back so often. Just have the spring in his legs to avoid some of these rushes.
Yeah, man, I should mention how Todd needs to make Hicks uncomfortable. The man who's looked uncomfortable all night long is with Todd. He's going to have to really change something up if he wants to be in this fight.
Work to the body again. That has been consistent from Hicks all night long, and it opened up an avenue for a nice uppercut and the overhand right as well, but Todd comes right back with one of his own.
Well-placed right hand from Todd.
It just seems like every time you think Antonio Todd is about to be really hurt, he comes back with something. Just a little something to make Joseph Hicks think.
Yeah, the balance of Todd is all over the place. Like you said, Chris, he's very flat-footed. Balance does not seem right at the moment.
Good shot there from Joseph Hicks right at the bell. Josh Kelly defends his WBO International title against Gabriel Corzo, live here on DAZN on June 24th.
He's looking for the counter right hand.
That's all he's looking for.
You got to bring down that flat top.
Yep.
There's no reason for you to leave the hook to the body guy. You don't need to. Do it behind the jab. Okay? All right?
Sorry.
Keep him on the end of your shots for now. We got time. Halfway home.
How you feeling about it? How you feel? Good? Yep. He done switching. You hurt him too bad. He done switching. But if we see another switch, we'll let you know. But you hurt him too bad in that switch.
Second down, here we go.
Interesting instructions in the corner of Joseph Hicks. Certainly a confident corner, guys, but we're lauding the body work of Joseph Hicks, but they're telling him right now, don't worry about that left hook to the body. You don't need it right now.
Interesting instruction there. I mean, you got a guy who's taking the shots pretty well to the head. Everything you're doing offensively is working. Why not end some body shots?
I think maybe what they're referring to is the lead left hook to the body, kind of leaping in with it. I think they feel that maybe that's Todd's only opportunity is to counter with the right hand in that shot.
I haven't seen too much of that. I think Hicks has been fighting very, very within himself, picking his spots nicely. Great defense there. This is where Todd needs to be moving. That's what his corner was talking about a few rounds ago. They're getting into staring contests in front of each other. And Hicks is just more dynamic, more explosive, letting his hands go, more precise.
Todd getting a little more active here in round 5.
Good body shot there from Todd. Right hand to the ribcage landed.
See, that's enough opportunity missed for Antonio Todd. Rare moment where he had Hicks backed to the corner, just kind of stood there, watched him, allowed Hicks to slip away.
You know, because I think when they go back and watch this fight, they're going to see there was a lot of opportunities for them to be active. Nice short right hand over the top from Hicks there.
Oh, another one there from Hicks. That one right Todd. And Todd might be in some trouble. He is wobbling along the ropes right now. Joseph Hicks trying to find an opening. I got to be impressed with the recuperative abilities of Todd, though.
I thought Hicks did a nice job not smothering his punches in that exchange. Looked like he ran out of gas. If he had been able to flurry a little bit faster, he might have been able to force a stoppage.
Beautiful left hook there from Joseph Hicks.
And these counter shots from Hicks are what are most impressive. Todd just can't get out of the way when he leans in and throws.
I like how Hicks has added the left hook to the repertoire now. The right hand has been landing all night long. Now, after he lands the right, he throws the left hook.
As the moments tick away here in round 5, our Claudia Trejos caught up with Maricela Cornejo earlier on tonight.
You're allowed to go into the ring, and of course, this is prize fighting, not friend fighting. That's what Clarissa says. How do you feel about that?
She's absolutely right. She's absolutely right. We're both in there trying to accomplish one thing: is it's me take her down or her take me down. So may the best women win.
A few years ago, we talked about this moment, and it all came to fruition.
Yes.
And this is packed.
Yes.
And they're waiting for you. How does that moment feel right now?
I looked at a picture. One of my mentors sent me a picture of 8 years ago when I won my first title with the WBC International at super middleweight. And it was a picture of me closing my eyes, and I was visualizing this exact moment 8 years ago. So the time to shine is now. I feel great.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your time, and I'll see you in a bit.
Thank you.
And back live here at the Little Caesars Arena, Joseph Hicks and Antonio Todd in our opening contest. Chris Mannix, how do you have this one scored so far?
5 rounds to none in favor of Joseph Hicks. There's been pretty easy rounds to score throughout the first half plus of this fight. Joseph Hicks has been first most often. He's been most effective with his power punches. Antonio Todd is going to have to change things up. I know his corner said, we don't want you being reckless, but if you want to give yourself a chance to win the fight, you've got to start taking some chances.
Hicks has had Todd hurt twice, and again, kudos to Todd for being able to recover both times. But nonetheless, we're getting to a point in the fight where Todd's going to need something big. A right hand like that is along the lines of the things that he would need.
That was a nice solid shot from Todd at the top. When he punches with Hicks, that's his best chance. That's when he's landing the best shots tonight. When he's standing in front and waiting, he's just getting out-punched and outworked.
We should point out as well that Hicks 2 fights ago against Bilal Katayn was dropped in that fight. A very close decision. Almost was upset at home here in Detroit. So we have seen him hurt in the past. And certainly Antonio Todd is aware of that. Todd again looking for that sweeping right hand, but it's the right hand of Hicks that gets there instead.
It's been an effective shot all night long from Hicks. That overhand right. As you can see, Todd hangs that left hand low. And although you mentioned that he loved Floyd Mayweather and that was his inspiration, I don't think he has the skill set quite like Floyd to be able to fight with that lead hand down that way.
You know, we mentioned Terrence Crawford is one of the very few fighters that can operate with the switch. Floyd Mayweather might be the only fighter that operates effectively with that shoulder roll.
And it didn't stop everybody from trying it, though.
No, a lot of guys tried. Not a lot succeeded.
Of course, there's a Mayweather connection to the Hicks family, both being from the Grand Rapids region. Floyd knew Joseph Hicks's father, who also had the nickname Suge, who was tragically killed when he was just 2 years old. You see the nickname on his trunks, and R.I.P. Dad, and he said that he feels that it's kind of an out-of-body experience when he's fighting. He feels that he's kind of fighting as his father when he's in there.
Yeah, Corey, I thought that was really interesting when he said that after fights, he says, I kind of have a blank stare on my face because I just feel like my dad took over, and I need to now think about what just happened.
He's making his dad proud right now as he's letting the right hand go again to the body, to the head. Good sequence there for Joseph Hicks. And about 30 minutes ago, it's the arrival of the quote, Claressa Shields, entering Little Caesars Arena. And you hear the ovation as the audience here getting their first look at Claressa Shields. And guys, Claressa almost got a little bit emotional when she was talking about finding out that she would actually be fighting here at Little Caesars Arena. It's obviously a very meaningful moment for her.
Yeah, the aftermath of the loss, the win against Savannah Marshall. So Clarissa Shields wanted to do something special. She was looking to do something different, and this was it. Fighting in an NBA, NHL arena, being the first boxing event at this arena, that's something special.
Round 7 underway. Joseph Hicks, completely dominant here in our opening contest against Antonio Todd. Todd just not able to deal with the hand speed, with the length, the precision of Hicks here.
It seems like every time Hicks tries something new, it works. Nice little inside lead uppercut that he slipped to the inside of, split the guard.
Well, on the flip side, everything new that Todd is trying isn't working, and what has worked for him in the past just was never going to work ultimately against a guy like Joseph Hicks.
Yeah, Chris, there's a lot of, I think, opportunities missed for Antonio Todd. When you look at Hicks, talented guy, throwing some good combinations from angles. Not a lot of head movement, though, there from him. So if you're Antonio Todd, you've got a fairly stationary target to be able to tee off on. He's just not doing it.
And like we said last round, I mean, when Todd is at his best chance of landing is when he's punching with Hicks, to your point, because he doesn't really get his head off the line. He's not out there being shifty, changing levels with his defense, changing levels with his offense, but no, there's definitely opportunities there for Todd that are just letting slip by.
Hicks not someone who's bothered by not getting knockouts. When we pressed him on the possibility of getting one, and hey, would that be exciting to get one here at Little Caesars Arena? He said, no, I actually prefer to punish guys.
I don't know if I believe that. Yeah. Everybody likes a knockout on their resume.
We don't get paid for overtime. It's better to get in, get out, get your check. And to your point, man, it would be a feather in the cap for only the 6-fight pro of Hicks to stop Todd with all of his experience and the tough guys that he's gone the distance with.
Yeah, his last fight, we went the distance with Anthony Sims, who was once a pretty well thought of prospect in the Matchroom stable. Joseph Hicks, find a way to get Antonio Todd out of there, be a pretty solid accomplishment.
Head movement on the inside there from Hicks. As he rips a couple shots downstairs to the body. Despite his corner's proclamation that he didn't need the body work, he certainly hasn't abandoned it. It's been there for him, and he's capitalized.
Yeah, especially with the right hand. He's been mixing in some nice right hands to the body. Has Hicks short with that uppercut right combination.
Final moments here of round 7 as Joseph Hicks completely dominant as he just misses with a right hand at the bell.
Little clash of heads there as well.
You got him. You got him. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep letting your hands go. As long as he's balling up and waiting, he can't get a point. So let him sit there and wait all night. Because he need a knockout. We know he ain't got that coming, right? Keep beating this punk up, man. He just came here for show. Keep doing what you're doing. That's all he's looking for. And he's been looking for it all night. And you know he's looking for it. So you know what to do. Put it on him.
Throw another one now.
Punch him up before the round.
Okay, all right. All right. You gotta keep your chin down, though. Keep your chin down, know where you are. Understand? Keep your chin down, know where you are, all right?
I gotta say, guys, we might have to start putting Wayne Easley on the list of best corner poets right now. I'm enjoying the oration in the Joseph Hicks corner. As the 8th and final round begins here in our opening contest, Antonio Todd's gonna need something big here in the 8th round. You heard it in the Hicks corner. They do not think that Todd is capable of a knockout.
Yeah, it's been pretty much one-way traffic all night long from Joseph Hicks Jr. He's looked very sharp tonight. He's looked strong with both hands, mixing up his offense very well. And he has a man in front of him who's just not willing to be first and engage. So he's had run of the ring.
And you heard Hicks's corner after that last round saying this man is here for show. I don't know if I go that far, but I don't believe Antonio Todd came in with the right game plan to win.
You know, we had mentioned his sparring and all the rounds he's done, how many fights he's had. He almost has that kind of sparring fighter, sparring partner mentality in there tonight. Just kind of going through the motions.
We do see this in career arc, I think, in guys like Antonio Todd sometimes, where there is a point where they sort of cross the threshold from dangerous B-side to a guy that can give guys rounds. And right now, Antonio Todd is just doing the latter for Joseph Hicks.
Never want to be the guy that just gives guys rounds.
It's a hard way to make a living.
One of my favorite fighters, Derek Finley. You guys remember that name? Shin for hire, basically. I used to talk to him, like, what brings you back? Because every so often, he would get a win, and then he would be able to keep his career going.
Clash of heads there. You see Antonio Todd wincing.
Well, to Corey's point, with Finley, like, he was dangerous at one point early on, and then got less and less dangerous and more just durable.
Every so often, he'd knock off a prospect, too.
Usually, ran right. A little bit of complaining from Todd.
Couple clash of the hands here in the 8th round. As Hicks just misses with that right hand. Now's an opportunity to do some work along the ropes. Crowd trying to egg him on. Hicks right now kind of heeding the warning or the instructions of his corner, basically telling him don't take too many chances. You don't need to right now. And that's not what the fans want to see, but Hicks right now is headed to a shutout victory.
He should, because Todd's not giving much back. And his balance is so off, I don't really think he has much power on those shots.
A dominant performance from Joseph Hicks.
Fucking champion, you. How you feel, baby? You feel like you won it?
Imantas Stanionis takes on Virgil Ortiz for the WBA welterweight world title as both men put their unbeaten records on the line on June 24th.
It definitely was. It definitely was.
Joe one.
Too tight. Come on up a little bit higher.
What do you say, Joe one?
Look like it.
Let me take a look back at some of the action from this fight, and the action was one-way traffic, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Hicks started fast. He came out looking very, very sharp in the first round, controlled the distance really well. Whenever he was able to pin his opponent against the ropes, he really just let his hands go. There you see a big overhand right, which was one of the most consistent weapons of the night. Once Hicks started adding the left hook, Todd really had no answer, and that was doing a lot of damage in those middle rounds. But yeah, every time that he had his back against the ropes, Hicks was able to really control the space, do a lot of damage, and Todd just did not have an answer.
Joseph Hicks, we anticipate, will advance to 7-0 as a professional. A dominant win that I think showed some growth in Joseph Hicks here tonight. And it looks like we are ready to make this one official. So let's send it up to the center of the ring to Pete Trevino.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put a big round of applause together for both of the fighters in this ring. After 8 rounds of championship boxing, all 3 judges score this matchup 80-72 for your winner by unanimous decision and new WBC America's silver middleweight champion, Joseph "Shug" Hicks Jr.
So Joseph Hicks improves to 7-0 as expected. And guys, listen, Joseph Hicks up until this point was fighting on the Detroit club circuit against mostly novice fighters. And although he didn't really get any resistance, this is still valuable experience for him here tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like we said, he shows some different wrinkles to the game. He impressed me tonight. I hadn't seen him look this good in other fights, and again, he did it against his best opponent, someone with the most experience to date. So yeah, I was impressed with the performance, and I think this is a good win on his record for sure.
Yeah, I think fighting experienced guys is the key, and staying active is going to be key for Joseph Hicks. I think you go back to the gym, you probably notice a few things.